we gotta do is win. So if they sleep on you, tuck them in. Meet me at the top, if you bought, I'll drop my pen. So many stars in the making, thank you, sing. Eyes on the prize, I say passionate. I got the sauce like Diana, vision like Matheson. They say patience is a virtue, so I went around the world and back again. Now NSL be on the map, no more imagining, it's happening.
A new week begins in beautiful Montreal, Stade Boreal. This is the NSL presented by BMO. The Ottawa Rapid, the league's top team so far this year, plays a visit to the Montreal Roses. Good evening, fans. Welcome inside the broadcast booth alongside Jessica Lisi. My name is Matt Cullen. Hard to believe, Jess. Double digits now in the NSL. Yep. This is week 10, the first of 3 games in this big week. And let's start with Ottawa. Top of the table so far this year. All is well for the Rapid, but nothing is perfect.
No, and I mean, I think when you're at the top of the table, you know that there's always a bit of extra weight. You have a target on your back, so that means you have to elevate your performance week in and week out. And we know the Ottawa Rapid has the quality in those players that are out on the pitch, in the subs that have been coming in to make an impact. But it's about cleaning things up, Matt. Defensively against Toronto, Toronto had 21 shots. So this is something that they need to be better at. Ottawa needs to be collectively together defensively, specifically on transitional moments. Can they have better attacking balance? Can they read those moments of when they need to, keep shape? They need to be aware of what's about to happen. And when you look at inside the box defending, it just wasn't quite good enough. Too wide open. But thankfully, Melissa Dagenet decided to stand on her head that day, and I think another player that's going to play a key role today is Olivia Scott. She's been so great for them over 2 seasons, and she has that leadership quality about her. She's very poised when she's on the ball. When she's off of the ball, she is great at keeping things organized, so I definitely think that this is a player that has to have a big game today.
Big test for Olivia Scott and the Rapid against a dangerous Montreal side. One change today in the starting 11 for Katrina Peterson. Nicola Golan comes in the attacking on the left side in place of Melanie Forbes. Jaleesa Harris has played every minute so far for the Rapid this year, and she joins us now. Jaleesa, coming off a 1-1 draw against Toronto on the weekend, what do you take away from that game into tonight against Montreal?
Yeah, I mean, coming away with 1 point, we felt like actually was good for the day because we didn't perform the way we wanted to. We defended a lot of transitions. We didn't do well in our attacking balance and keeping the ball high enough up the field. So today we're looking to take a step forward in our performance and obviously get 3 points. We need to be more organized when we have the ball, rest with the ball, and really just, stop their attack as they have good forwards, as we all know.
Now, second meeting between you two this year. Montreal took 3 points in Ottawa a couple of weeks ago. What's the message inside your group here about now taking the 3 back as you're the visitors here in Montreal tonight?
Yeah, I think obviously that last game we were disappointed with the result. It was a game of 2 halves that game. We came out really slow. We weren't happy with our first half performance. In the second half we came out, how we wanted to from the start. We felt like we could have scored more goals than we did. We hit the post a few times, how it goes with soccer. But this time we're looking to have a dominating performance and really just show ourselves. We feel like if we can be the best version of ourselves, we'll come away with 3 points tonight.
Best of luck for the match. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
All right, shifting to the Montreal Roses now. The big news of the week, the departure of Kang Chae-rim, the South Korean, opting to return back to family and being a little bit closer to her close and loved ones. So this will be a send-off match for her, and Montreal thriving in transition. They would love to try and get that going again.
Yeah, I mean, what better way to send someone off than to get that win? But this is a team that has the creative edge in the final third, but now it's about being ruthless, Matt, because my goodness, the amount of opportunities they create and don't bury. They have all the quality, they have the tools in their toolbox to do it, but now it's about really taking all the pieces of the puzzle and really putting them together. We know that Elise Bennett can score goals. We also know a player like Chloe Minas can create, and she definitely has helped with that. But the other thing is when you're missing those opportunities, sometimes sometimes they come back to bite you, right? So you don't want to be stuck in that position, and when you're chasing that first place spot, you have to be more clinical. And then on the flip side, this is a team that is so front-footed that they often get caught in transition. That was what happened against Calgary. That's how Calgary was able to capitalize here on this opportunity. So being aware, having that attacking balance, and just knowing what it is that they need to do on both sides of the ball to be cleaner and really execute the game plan is going to be massive for them today. And I think Chloe Minas is exactly the right person that is going to help them execute the game plan to perfection. She's somebody that does so well on both sides of the ball. She keeps the team connected. She does all the work that's necessary. So as we were talking about that transitional moment, that's going to be key. She's going to be a big part in that. And offensively, I think she's really stepped up. Lisa Pechersky hasn't been available. She's somebody that has really stepped up that creativity in the attack.
Coming off a 1-1 draw with Calgary over the weekend, one change today for the Roses, and that is Tanya Boychuk coming back into the starting 11 in place of Claire Monyard. Haley Whitaker also part of this starting 11, and moments ago we had a chance to catch up with her about how they're trying to end this winless run of 3 straight games.
It's just getting back to the basics for us. Like, we had a really long run, and it's just really putting an emphasis on like our game and really implementing it in each game that we play. So we're not too discouraged. Like, it's a long season. We're definitely aware of it, but it's something that we know that we can take care of, and we have our own power to do better.
I know this will be a really special game for you as well, with Kang Chirim's last match here in the starting 11 together. What do you do to make this game a special send-off for her?
I mean, I think the best send-off is to end off with a win and doing well. And we've been with her since like last year, and she came in and made an impact, and she continues to do so. So we hope that we send her off with a win and make it memorable for her.
All right, best of luck. Thank you.
Thank you.
So that was indeed the big news of the week, with Chirim announcing her departure from the club. So Montreal will do everything in its power to try and get 3 points here in the send-off.
Well, it's sad to see her go, right? This is a player that came in, she made an impact. She's so great on the flank. She's so poised. She makes things happen, and she's very creative. But this is just a part of the game, Matt. Unfortunately, players move on, and we do know that Montreal has all the quality in the other players as well. You see there 18 caps, 15 starts, 3 goals, 10 shots on target. So definitely a player that is impactful, but now it's just about moving forward. So finishing off on a strong note and then continuing from there.
3 goals in 11 matches last year. Montreal's push towards the playoffs. And speaking of the push towards the playoffs, yes, it is early, but Ottawa and Montreal so far the 2 top teams in the NSL. And if the Roses can get a win at home, they will retake top spot in the NSL standings. Moments away from kickoff at Stade Boreal. Eastern rivalry renewed. Ottawa and Montreal next.
Hi, I'm Diana Matheson, legend of the field and founder of the Northern Super League. Are you wondering where to watch Northern Super League matches live this season? Confused by TV networks, channels, streams, and schedules? You could visit NSL.ca and download the 2026 schedule to your smartphone, but who's got time for that? Not me. That's why we're introducing the 2026 Northern Super League game schedule hotline. Just dial 1-833-NSL Live and we'll tell you where to watch every match. It's simple, it's easy. It's like the opposite of AI. No, seriously, call it. They made me pre-record all the weekly messages, and we have like 80 matches.
Call the NSL schedule hotline now. 1-833-NSL Live. That's 1-833-NSL Live. It's free, it's real, and yes, you can leave us a message. Tell us where you're watching from. Tell us your favorite team. Tell us why everyone should watch the Northern Super League. Call now, find out where and when to watch, and tune in.
All the makings to be a great night in Montreal. The Roses hoping to make it 2 straight in terms of the victories over their Ontario rival in the Ottawa Rapid. Evelyn Badu made her mark in the 1-1 draw against Calgary here, Jess.
1 goal, 1 assist. This is a player that really has that bravery in the attack, and I want to see her get on the ball and do more of that today, Matt. I want to see her help ignite this attack alongside a player like Tanya Boychuk.
Anna Karpenko and Melissa Dagenet, the 2 keepers, are 1 and 2 this year in terms of the saves, with Dagenet 28 saves on the season to lead all Northern Super League keepers so far. And the keepers might be busy because these are the top 2 attacking teams so well in terms of the goals scored this year. Ottawa, however, with the edge in that department. So here we go from Stade Boreal. Roses attacking from left to right, while Ottawa in the dark and blue kits today, moving from right to left here. First start of the season for Nicola Golan, as Katrina Peterson, Jess, has been very firm with her starting 11 this year. Is coming into today, 8 players had started all previous matches this year.
Well, if it's not broke, don't fix it, right? You have these players that have come out, they've performed on a consistent basis. Obviously, they're at the top of the table for a reason. So I don't think that there's necessarily a necessity to go out there and make a ton of changes. And as you said, Matt, she hasn't really been doing that. It's great for Golan to be able to get her first start. This is a player that did make an impact last year. She's very shifty. She has a lot of quality in the attack, and she's brave. She loves to go at people. She loves to get the ball in the box. But yeah, I think that sometimes when things are working, you just don't want to mess with that.
Does also have a goal so far this year, coming back on the opening night in the NSL. The match on the East Coast in Halifax. Beautiful night for some football, 23 degrees Celsius with light winds coming out of the southwest. In our chats, both Alicia Harris and Haley Whitaker mentioned that the last time that these 2 teams played, it was burning hot in Montreal. So much nicer to have a little bit of cover here with the overcast skies. Karpenko pushes this one back out into the midfield and taken quickly back here by the Rapid. Down this far side, Montreal able to defend that and push forward. Elise Bennett's 5 goals on the year, second only to DB Pridham, who has 6. Good ball into the penalty area, and the Rapid with some good defending. That was one of your key points, Jess, off the top, is how well can they deal with Bennett in this high-powered Montreal unit.
Yeah, and I think that this Ottawa side has shown us time and time again that this defensive unit has all the quality in the world, Matt. You look at players like Harris, you look at players like Scott, you look across that back line with Adamek as well as Chu. There's just so many quality players in there that can make things happen, that can shut down a big attack like a player Elise Bennett is going to bring. But it's about doing it on a consistent basis. So can they do that? I think right now they have that in their game plan, but can they do it across the 90?
Injury in the midfield here with Jung in some discomfort early on in this match, just in the 3rd minute.
Well, here's another look at it. Just a bit of contact there from Elise Bennett when she comes back. Just comes right through the right boot of Jung. I think more so just discomfort, but it's great to see that she's back to her feet.
Let's look at Katrina Peterson, who, of course, is enjoying all of the footballing right now with the World Cup ongoing. Said make sure that she let her players have some time to watch the games. A couple of South Koreans in the starting 11 there. There's a hard challenge there from Golan. Difficult to balance schedules right now with all of the training schedules, travel for both teams, and also both played on Sunday as well, so a compressed week here for both these sides. But just one change from each manager. And Valerie Seto plays this ball forward and out into touch as we cross into the 5th minute. Just one all-time win for the Rapid all-time in the 7 fixtures against the Montreal Roses. Last summer, a brace from DB Pridham here at Stade Boreal. Other than that, the Roses have been largely successful here against their regional rival in Ottawa. Adamick puts this ball forward, looking at Friedland, and Friedland taking off the ball. And the head referee from Prince George, BC, Carly Shaw McLaren, 29-year-old, lives in Ottawa and has been a FIFA referee since 2022. Of course, Women's World Cup not so far away. Summer away, Jess.
Can't wait.
Carly Shaw McLaren was at the last Women's World Cup as well in Australia and New Zealand. This one in, nobody in a dangerous spot for the Montreal Roses. And for the second straight week, Maurice Bard-Martel, the 31-year-old, is the acting manager today, as Robert Rosatoyu, among several coaches in North America, currently in Vancouver with the CONCACAF Pro licensing program going on. So a important step for coaches in this country and a great opportunity for someone you know pretty well, Jess.
Yes, yeah, Maurice and I played with each other back in college. She was
I
actually
could barely get a word in the press conference call.
Don't call me out like that, Matt. Come on now. But yeah, she was the starting goalkeeper for Memphis when I first attended there. She was a senior, so she was definitely a great leader back then. So it's not shocking to see her step into this role so seamlessly and do such a good job.
Also mentioned that she has rigorous training programs, so the Roses have got to be in top shape here.
Yes, she was the fittest person on our team as the goalkeeper. It was quite shocking how much she could run. So I definitely think she's going to whip these girls into shape.
When Rob Eric gets back, you won't even know what happened. Jokes aside, of course, and Ottawa trying to move into its first attacking phase here. Golan, ball into the penalty area. Not just outside. Mellenhorst lurking there as well. Has been off to a strong start in the season. There's DB Pridham, who has 4 of Ottawa's last 6 goals. She has really found the back of the net. Golden Boot winner last year. The league's all-time top scorer. Not particularly close. Has been rounding into form here.
Yeah, and I think one of the most admirable things about Pridham, and you could see it there, what led to that initial throw-in, is her ability off the ball. She reads that pressure so well. She applies the pressure. She is somebody that puts her heart and soul into every moment of the game, and that's exactly what you want from an attacker. You want somebody that's determined. You want somebody that's hungry, and that they want the ball 24/7.
Opportunity for the dangerous number 22 for the Ottawa Rapid. That one off target. Pridham now up on 26 career Northern Super League goals. And has been involved in the assist department this year as well. 6 goals, 3 assists for a league-leading 9 total goal contributions. Trina Peterson mentioned that she's been finding that ruthlessness back in training, wanting the ball, sometimes demanding the ball, and that's a positive quality according to the manager.
Well, it's also her movement off the ball, right? If you watch DB Pridham when she doesn't have the ball, what she's doing, her movement to create space for her teammates. And again, that pressure, that ruthlessness defensively ends up causing opportunities like this. A throw-in is a set piece. We have seen so many goals come off of these throw-ins, so it's just a matter of her continuing to do that, and things will happen for them.
Chu Hu-Ju, one of 3 Korea Republic internationals in the starting 11 from both sides here. Jung and of course Che Rim in her final match wearing the Montreal Roses shirt today. Roses trying to do some defending here. Mellenhorst taken down. One back by Charlotte Bilbao. And now Bilbao is dragged down for a free kick awarded here to Montreal.
You see the experience in Bilbao's decision-making there. She looks up, she recognizes there's not many numbers for it. She's going to keep it, and it ends up causing Golan with no choice but to really foul, and ultimately now Montreal is able to win this ball back.
Some stern words there from Carly Shaw McLaren with Nicola Golan. Second time that she's been involved here, and this was a physical build-up here.
You see Bilbao just slightly touch the heels of Mellenhorst there. I think Mellenhorst would have loved to have a foul come from it. There's not too much in that.
Badu also shaken up there, and for her 3rd start of the season. As you mentioned, now has a goal and an assist. Badu's pass gets away from the intended target. Some movement on the Ottawa touchline here, Jess, as Sadie Waite has come up and a possible early substitution here for the Rapid. See how that develops.
Sadie Waite's been a really exciting addition to this Rapid side as well. When she's come in, we've seen her get a couple starts here and there, and she's somebody that does well to find those spaces. She floats, she makes herself available for that ball in the final third, and then we know that she can strike it. We've seen her hit the back of the net.
So it is Jung after that tackle with Elise Bennett coming out early in the 10th minute of the match. So less than ideal here for Katrina Peterson and the Ottawa Rapid. Here's another look at the collision.
Looks like she might have just slightly twisted her ankle when Elise Bennett came through. Hopefully everything's all right and she's able to be back with the Rapid for their next one.
Waite's been a regular feature for Ottawa this year, in for her 9th appearance of the season, and played 28 minutes off the bench in the 1-1 draw against AFC Toronto, so should be relatively fresh. All things considered with the short week, but never ideal when you have to go to the bench early.
No, it's definitely not. You want to be able to save those subs for when you truly do need them, but unfortunately sometimes that is how the game works out, and you do have to make those subs early.
Chu scored against Montreal back in the previous meeting. 2-1 defeat for the home side, the Rapid, that day. Strong first half from the Roses, leading 2-0 at the halfway mark, but Ottawa was encouraged by a positive second half, but were unable to beat Karpenko a second time in that match. So it was 3 points to Montreal, and here the first corner kick set to come in the 12th minute. The Norwegian Johanna Friedland. Set to deal this in, top of the penalty area, headed back towards, and Mina Leah strikes, still ball in the penalty area, struck on, and it does sneak in. Mellenhorst able to get a boot to it, and it goes under Karpenko for the opening goal. 1-0 to Ottawa.
It's so well done from Mellenhorst. She did not give up. She stuck with that to that very final moment where she's able to strike it past Karpenko. This is a player that has made such an impact this year. Every time she's on the ball, something happens, but you can see her here. She stays with it. Mina's not able to get the best and cleanest strike off. Mellenhorst fights that final moment and is able to slot that by Karpenko. I know Karpenko's probably frustrated about that one. She could have held it, but it does end up going under her arm. So very well done from Ottawa to be able to capitalize on a great opportunity.
Mellenhorst had a 2-game stretch where she had 5 goal contributions. Went the last 5 though without scoring, but does now have her 3rd of the season. And that's exactly what Ottawa needed here as the away side in a tough place to play.
Well, now it's about how is Montreal going to respond. It's still very early in. Obviously, we have a lot of game left to play, Matt. But how will they respond? Will they allow that momentum to fully shift in favor of Ottawa? Will Ottawa really grasp this and continue forward with the momentum, not to allow Montreal back into the game? I guess we'll see.
Long way to go indeed in this one. As we mentioned earlier, these two teams don't have too much trouble scoring goals. Minas in the middle of the pitch gives this ball away. Chu taken down. Carly Shaw McLaren gives the foul.
A late lunge there from Badu.
So here's the set piece here, Jess. Never really properly dealt with here by the Roses.
No, and you see it just trickles underneath Karpenko's arm. I think she definitely could have been a little stronger on that and kept it out of the back of her net. But again, it was a great effort from Mellenhorst. She stuck with it to that final moment, and she did everything she could to redirect a ball towards frame. And in the end, it worked out.
6th consecutive match now that Montreal has conceded a goal. Started the season with 3 straight clean sheets. And this is a side that enjoyed first place for the majority of the early goings in the season, but have now dropped into 2nd place and haven't quite been as sharp defensively.
defensively, but I also think that they haven't been capitalizing on the opportunities that they've been creating. They are a team that is so creative. They have so many options when they're going forward. They have so many players making different sorts of runs, again, going back to the option point. But they haven't been able to find the back of the net. If you have majority of possession, you have to be purposeful when you have that possession. And I just don't think that they've put that final piece of the puzzle together on a consistent basis. We saw them do it at the beginning of the season, but now it's just slowly, excuse me, wow, hard word for me today apparently, but slowly trickle down. So I think that they have to be able to elevate themselves in the final third. And yes, tighten up a little bit defensively.
Well, you mentioned the transitions earlier. Montreal thought it had an opportunity in transition. The foul, though, was called against the longtime French international Bilbao, and she let everyone know how she felt about that. Strong reaction from the midfielder.
As a player that has always had strong reactions, I'm all for it.
You read my mind. I was just about to ask. Anything come to mind in terms of...
Yes, I was definitely an animated player when the referee did not make the call the way I thought they should.
Any yellow cards for dissent?
Yes, I'm sure there were some. Again,
Nothing memorable.
No, nothing memorable, but
just another day at the office.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
You know me, Matt. You know that's just a part of my personality.
Never shy on direct feeling. Which is why we love you in the analyst chair. Headed away here by Scott. Into touch for a deep throw for Bennett. Bennett one off DB Pridham for the top spot in terms of the goals. Just has one goal though in her last 5. You mentioned some of the attacking as well that has dropped off for the Roses.
I think it's about using and utilizing the strengths and playing to your players' strengths, right? So Elise Bennett is a player that's very good. She can get in behind, but her biggest strength is her ability to hold up that ball and then spin out to get in the box and you know, use her stature and fight to be able to find the back of the net. But it's not about playing the ball into space for her each time.
This ball directed towards the heart of the penalty area before Ottawa sends this away. Looks left, then right. Then forward to Whitaker. Bilbao. Seto back to Capadona, who had a great chance in the last match against Calgary.
It's well done.
Seto and goal, and again. Whitaker moves forward. Badu, good ball into space, sent on, and Scott has to move that quickly. Sent back in, and a tight clearance there. Mellenhorst goes over top of the ball, taken back by the Roses. Sent out again onto the right side. Whitaker back to the top of the penalty area. Bennett was there and looks to be shaken up. In the heart of the penalty area. This one does go into touch.
Not sure
Concerning
if she's
sight here.
Winded from the ball or if there was an elbow or what it might be, but let's take another look at it. Does look like she might be winded directly from that ball. It's one of the worst feelings. You just need a minute sometimes. Catch your breath. You see she's back on her feet, which is great. But it's definitely not a fun feeling.
Tap on the back there from the Ottawa captain, Liv Scott. So Montreal's potent number 9 looking to continue. Ball across to Cherim, one of her first touches here in the match. Goes back to Sauvé. Sauvé leading the Roses in terms of minutes on the pitch this year. Badu and Whitaker. Some more contact there. And this time, probably Sean McLaren likes to play on. Although Badu is still down here at Stade Boreal. Been a muscular start to this match here, Jess.
It looks like she might have just missed time, Matt, and ended up losing her footing as she jumped, and we'll see it here. She goes up to compete with this ball with Mellenhorst, but as Mellenhorst sticks her leg out, it looks like Badu just loses her footing and lands a little hard, but nothing much in that.
Well, we've already had an early substitution due to injury and a couple of hardish fouls, why don't we say, maybe hard impact, and already 8 total fouls here, and we're just set to cross over the 20-minute mark. And this was earlier on in the game here, and I think she took maybe a shot to the midsection there. Didn't come out of that. Hard to really see what happened there, but looked uncomfortable.
Yeah, it looks like her leg might have been straight and had some contact, and just looks uncomfortable. But I think all is well. She doesn't seem to be in too much pain. She's back on her feet.
Back-to-back starts for Evelyn Badu for the first time this season. Harris. Ball into the midfield, played out, and quickly taken back by Montreal, trying to get back on even terms. Montreal with 4 multi-goal scorers already on the season, 6 total goal scorers. Mellenhorst, goal scorer tonight, this time trying to set up one. Friedland, maybe a half yard or so behind that. Cherim does well to win this ball back. Kang Cherim try and bring the Roses forward. You want some more attacking, Jess?
Yes, I want to see Cherim run forward. There's no reason to go back. I do realize that there's not maybe the amount of numbers that she wants, but continue to come across the field. You need that ruthlessness in the attack, and Montreal is a team, I've said it time and time again, and I feel like I'm repeating myself, but they have the quality up top to be ruthless and to be clinical, but now it's about continuing to do that on a consistent basis. Can they turn forward? Can they drive forward? And can they get those players involved in the match?
Well, look at this.
Matt's favorite part of the game, the band.
They were loud in our pregame. We knew they were going to be up for it here. Looks like they've grown in size as well.
For anyone that doesn't know, Matt Cullen used to play the trumpet quite well.
More on that in just a second here. Jess, ball in the penalty area, taken back by Dagenet. Did quite well as perhaps a stretch. Did have a few years as trumpet 3 in the jazz band.
And the violin.
That was much earlier, yes.
Well, you just
even
told
less
me about
successful.
It, so.
Less successful.
Well, nobody knows, so you could say you were very successful.
Well, there's a reason why I was placed at the back. No problem on my end. All right, the Rapid trying to double its lead here. Pridham, Capadona meet, and Lucy Capadona wins the initial battle there.
Well done, well defended from Capadona.
Badu, as we saw, coming back into the match, so Montreal back to 11 on the pitch. Roses playing their 4th match at home this year in the midst of a 4-match homestand. We're frustrated with a 1-1 draw against last place Calgary on Sunday. A win, a draw, and a loss in front of the home fans so far this year for the Roses. Bouncing into touch. DB Pridham trying to move quickly.
We've been seeing some great pressure from the Ottawa Rapid. They have numbers around the ball. They're not allowing Montreal any time and space to really build out of the back, or when they do take that first touch, they're immediately there and ready to pounce, but they're doing it in an organized fashion, and it's really frustrating for Montreal to try to build out of the back in this moment. So it's very well done from the Rapid.
Minali. Ball forward and into the arms of Karpenko. Started every match for Montreal this year. In the middle, Bilbao sweeps this along to Whitaker. Striding forward, looking through. There's a ball for Bennett, and Bennett just couldn't quite put that touch forward into the penalty area, instead goes for a corner.
It's also well read from Olivia Scott. We mentioned her in the pregame show for a reason. She's somebody that's solid back there. She knows what needs to be done, and she doesn't give up. But let's take a look again, Matt. Haley Whitaker does well to look up. She recognizes where that space is in behind and plays it through to Elise Bennett, but that touch just getting away from her with that pressure of Olivia Scott.
Bennett had goals in 4 of the 6 matches to begin the season. Minas on the set piece. High ball, back post, looking again at Bennett. Pushed away by the Rapid, but not completely dealt with. Boychuk, ball back in. It's a good one, and a fine stop there from Melissa Dagenet. Brilliant at the weekend in the 1-1 draw against Toronto, and tested early.
You don't want to have to call on your keeper to make massive saves, because that usually means that something broke down before it got to them, but you want to be able to do it when necessary, Matt, and you see Melissa Dagenet every time she is needed to step up, she does just that. And as you mentioned, in that last game versus Toronto, 21 shots. Not all of those were on target, but when they were on target, my goodness, did she come out and she stood her ground and kept this Ottawa Rapid team in the game.
Was beaten early in the match, but had 6 saves, a number of them high-quality stops. Lauren Rowe and Kaylee Hunter left frustrated after 90 minutes at TD Place a couple of days ago. And Dagenet, the main reason for that. Badu using the outside of the boots. Harris defends that well, and Mellenhorst back in possession. Looking at the far side of the pitch for one of the first times here today. Now Harris and Chu. Now forward here from Sadie Waite. She joined us late, came in the 10th minute due to an injury to Jun Min Young. Jess, what's your take so far on this match? Obviously Ottawa with the fast start here. Has Montreal grown into the game as much as you'd like?
I do think that they're capable of growing a little bit more into the game. I do think this is a team that has created certain dangerous opportunities. We've seen a couple, right, Matt? But I do think that they're capable of more. This Ottawa team has really looked to take control. They're not allowing much build-up for Montreal. They're doing well to intercept the ball as that build-up happens, and they're applying that pressure, which is making it very difficult. I think Montreal is capable of being a little bit cleaner in the final third and creating even more than what we've seen.
Pretty even so far in terms of possession. Here's Golan. Her first start of the season, puts a ball in just in behind Johanna Friedland. That ball too far for Adamek, will go for a Montreal throw.
And I do just want to point out, right, we look at the possession stats. Both of these teams have had essentially even amounts of possession, but sometimes it's about who's doing it in a more purposeful way. So who's creating more dangerous chances, or who's in that final third and really keeping the ball. It's not necessarily who can keep it amongst their back line and count towards his possession numbers. So it's about who can be more purposeful and who can really break lines and get into that attacking third, and ultimately, hopefully, you know, create some goal scoring opportunities.
Surrounded by Ottawa players, and then drags down DB Pridham. That's going to be a yellow card. Dangerous DB looked to have a break, and it's an easy booking there for the referee.
And we know that DB Pridham always looks to apply that back pressure, and she does just that. But you see Minas a bit frustrated that DB's able to get that ball from her and just hands around the waist and pulls her back. So most definitely a yellow.
First booking of the season for the 24-year-old Montreal native. He's had back-to-back matches with assists in terms of the goal contributions. Well, right now the Roses will have to do some defending. Another set piece here for Ottawa. Freeland will deliver this into the penalty area, and a collision there. Karpenko roaring out, and quickly the medical staff being called in. That was a high impact collision. Ball delivered to that post,
and you can see again here Pridham going 100 miles an hour, as well as Karpenko, both of them eye on the ball, not really aware of where the other is, and they end up colliding quite hard. It looks like Pridham might have got Karpenko's hand in her face. It's not a sight you want to see.
Been a difficult half hour here for Katrina Peterson and the Rapid.
Looks like there might have been a bit of contact with the ball as well, and then that follow through from Karpenko's fist. The head is definitely not something you want to play with, so extra precaution definitely needs to be taken just to make sure everything's okay.
So medical staff still continue to work on DB Pridham, who has not moved a whole lot since the initial collision. Anything in your mind that warrants more than just the stoppage, foul, penalty perhaps?
No, I mean, I think that
50-50 ball?
Yeah, no, I think that it was a 50-50 ball. You do see that Karpenko, I believe, makes some contact with the ball as well, but that follow through is what gets Pridham, and unfortunately she's not on the fun end of that. Getting a fist to the face is never fun, speaking from experience, so I do hope to see her back on her feet and ready to go.
Medical staff continue to do the tests with DB Pridham. Look at Kira Mellenhorst, who is now up to 6 goal contributions on the year, and now her 9th match of the season. It's been a real force for Ottawa.
Yeah, I think she's a bright star. This is somebody that has come into the league for her first year, and she's made an impact right from, you know, the first minutes that she stepped on the pitch. And there were so many questions, right, Matt? We had the conversation about this Ottawa midfield time and time again of how they would be able to replace a player like Desiree Scott and as well as Gibson, and it just ended up being, well, you have these 2 players coming in, you have Jung, you have Mellenhorst, what are they going to do? And they play in their own way, and my goodness, do they do it well. And Mellenhorst has been so fun to watch, and her ability to contribute to the attack but also do the defensive work has been something that has really helped elevate the Rapid this year.
Great to see DB Pridham quickly back into the match after a pretty heavy collision there with Karpenko. We'll see how the momentum might shift after that opportunity. This one's sent away for a corner.
This is an opportunity that they need to capitalize on.
First corner of the evening for the Roses. Boychuk, who was not in the team against the Calgary Wild on the weekend. I'll leave this to Minas. .33rd minute. Is this the moment here for the Roses to find an equalizer? Minas's ball headed away initially here by the Rapid. Bennett comes back to Whitaker. Another ball in the penalty area. Dealt with again by the Rapid. Goes for a Montreal throw.
You want to see that delivery just closer into the 6. You have players that are great targets like Bennett, like Boychuk, who have shown us that they can get on the end of things. So just getting that ball into an area where they can really threaten.
Boychuk has won another corner. You rightly pointed out that Bennett has 5 goals. Boychuk also has 4s right up there in the Golden Boot race as well.
Those are the 2 players you want to get the ball to, especially when you're talking about corner kicks and getting balls into the box, aerial challenges. Both of those players really come alive in those moments.
Back-to-back corners here for Chloe Minas and the Roses. Ball again Top of the penalty area, takes a deflection, flicked on towards goal, pushed away by Dagenet. Finally settles down for Kayla Adamick. Friedland, shoulder to shoulder with Boychuk. Seto, unable to gain possession with Sadie Waite. And once again, Ottawa does well in the defending. Ten minutes to go before stoppage time. You're watching the Northern Super League presented by BMO, the official bank of the NSL.
Some great pressure there from Badu. Doesn't end up going anywhere.
Nina Lee promptly gives this ball away. Whitaker read that well. Played forward again, Boychuk. Whitaker. Harris is there, the big center back for Ottawa, taking that opportunity away. So far, a pretty even match through 35 minutes. But Ottawa had the big moments from a corner kick in the second phase. Kira Mellenhorst scoring her third of the season. Capadona plays across goal. Karpenko. Ball comes out into the midfield area on a pretty play there. Boychuk. The two number 12s meet in the midfield, and Boychuk runs on. Mellenhorst comes in for the tackle, and it's well timed. And Ottawa winning back possession.
Again, Mellenhorst showing that she will and is willing to do that work defensively as well. She's not just a creative mind in the offense.
Some fancy footwork there from Friedland. Just no support in the attacking there. Now Ottawa bringing players forward. A little hesitation from Golan. And Montreal with Bennett, who's come back. Plays this off. Chirim charging forward, and Harris having to hurry back. Shot towards goal, but from distance and not really a threat to Dagenet.
It's great to go at pace when you're in the offensive third. That's exactly what you want. You have to be able to attack pack lines at pace. If you're doing it slow, they're going to shut you down. But it's also a matter of making the right decision and recognizing what the defense is giving to you, what options you also have. So it's not about forcing a shot or potentially forcing a pass and then giving the ball back to the opponent when you could have made a much better decision. So it's just something that Montreal has to keep in mind. That's what they've sort of been lacking. Again, there's been creation after creation for them, but that final pass not coming together. And sometimes when your feet are moving a million miles a minute and your brain is also moving a million miles a minute, you have to find a way to really slow it down in your head and just see what the options are, read the cues, and then play off that.
Ball controlled well there by Chu. Waits gives this back to Chu. Mina trying to do the back heel, second back heel, just on the top of the penalty area, but the assistant referees have said this is offside. Ottawa going to the creative here to try and find a second.
You see Sadie Waite come into the game. She's able to make an impact too. She plays that nice little ball through Mina, who we know is a very creative player, very shifty, very cheeky in what she does, and she tries to pull out that back heel.
Badu comes in. It's had a couple of challenges here. Chu on the end of this one, and this time there will be a booking for Evelyn Badu. One too many.
Yes, I think this is, there is something in this. You see her come right through the back of Chu. Hands up. I didn't do anything. That's the typical response, right? None of us players want to be booked, but I think that she's been involved in quite a bit today, so the referee just wanted to put an end to that, just make sure that there's a warning in place for her.
So a yellow card, the first of the season for the
tackle.
Seto and Whitaker On this near side, 5 or so minutes to go before stoppage time. Our 2 shots on target for the Roses.
It's well anticipated there from Adamek. Isn't able to keep it in bounds, but you're seeing that hunger and that grit from this Ottawa side defensively. They're turned on, they're ready. Anytime Montreal has the ball, any decision that they make, they're there. There's numbers around the ball.
Pressure comes from Golan, sent away by Karpenko. Badu and Chu again. This time Chu finds Harris. Mina with Sadie Waite. Back to the top of the penalty area. Pridham is taken down. Play continues along. And here's the transition for the Roses. Look out, numbers coming forward. Boychuk looking at Bennett. Bennett beaten to the ball there by Harris.
That's well done from Harris. They knew they would have their hands full today when you have a player like Boychuk as well as Bennett up top. But you see Boychuk looks up. She continues to take her space with speed, and that's exactly what you want. She recognizes that she can't continue to drive forward, tries to play that little slip ball through to Bennett, but that's no match for a player like Harris who was able to anticipate that beforehand.
Could be a good rivalry, Harris and Bennett today. Ball at the top of the penalty area, no one there for Montreal. 2 players that bring a lot of size and athleticism. Now it's Ottawa's turn for that transition. Friedland looking at DB, trying to stay on side, has to hold up. Johanna Friedland taking it herself and just missing the target. And getting that look from DB Pridham.
This is a great series for the Ottawa Rapid, but I want to say this starts off from Montreal not having enough numbers forward and then misjudging the bounce that Friedland's able to take advantage of and drive forward. She goes 1v1 with Capadona, but instead of continuing to drive forward, she tries to go to her right and strike that, isn't able to keep it on frame.
Back-to-back moments in transition. Mellenhorst. Now Chu. Wait in the middle. Chu. Once again, Badu. No foul this time, just a throw.
You can also see that mentality, that swarm mentality from Montreal. It's something that they've been phenomenal at last year as well as coming into this year. They're a very difficult team to break down defensively. They swarm you, they don't allow you any time or space, and we see them do that. They're trying to pick their moments instead of just constantly chasing and applying that high pressure, but when they do, they're very dangerous. So if they continue to do that, apply that pressure to a back line like Ottawa's, it's only going to become more difficult. And again, you see Badu clip Golan from behind there.
Got to be careful now.
She certainly does.
I don't have the numbers in front of me, but has to be responsible for half the fouls conceded, at least.
And fouls like that happen when you're not ready and you're not moving your feet. So she has to be turned on at all times, ready, knowing what's about to happen, and then that way she can be reactive instead of proactive instead of reactive in moments like that.
Flag comes up on the Rapid. Going to be the team that's been called offside the most of the Northern Super League teams this year. Surprised that they lead the league in goals as well with the powers they have up front, led by DB Pridham. They're hungry.
They certainly are.
Sadie Waite brings this down in the 44th minute. Opportunity perhaps for Montreal. And this will be given as a free kick here for the Roses as Boychuk ends up on the wrong end of that tackle. Good ball forward. Sherim just outside the penalty area, looking to strike it on goal, and Dagenais well positioned. Made sure there was no rebound or any loose ball there.
It's a good idea. Cherim recognizes where the space is. She cuts inside and she tries it herself, because why not? But there isn't enough power in behind that shot to really test a goalkeeper of Dagenais' caliber.
Karpenko and DB Pridham meet again. This time no collision. It's rolled forward by the Montreal keeper. perfect send-off it would be for Che Rim if she's able to find the back of the net for the first time this season. Well, right now, the home side trailing a goal to nil. Here's Golan.
It's well defended from Whitaker.
Chu takes a look around. Badu defends well. Montreal taking possession back here. 4 minutes of stoppage time, shown by the fourth official, Anne-Marie Canuel today. Bennett and Badu. One back though by the Ottawa Rapid. Strong play in the midfield though. Boychuk looking deep. Elise Bennett striding forward towards the penalty area, delivers a low cross in, and that's dealt with nicely there by Olivia Scott. Sauvé puts another cross in, looking at Bennett, headed back towards the top of the penalty area. Che Rim is there, so is Minas. Montreal looking threatening here, late stages in this first half. Seto's ball over the head of Boychuk will be a goal kick. Good stint of attacking there from the Roses.
And we spoke about the fact that they have that quality, right, Matt? We know that they're going to put balls in the box. It's about being able to get on the end of them and capitalize. You saw Elise Bennett earlier. She plays a great driven ball through, but the Rapid is able to beat the Roses to the ball inside the box. So it's about that ruthlessness and that hunger in and around the 18 as well. Can they just get something on frame?
Ball dispossessed by DB Pridham, trying to go over the top for Friedland. Penko leads that well, comes out to take that opportunity away. 4 attempts for Ottawa, 1 on target. The goal in the 13th minute from Kira Mellenhorst. Boychuk. Stutter step over top of the ball. Minas. Back in the middle, Bilbao.
Boychuk's work rate is something that's so admirable about the way she plays. You see her head's always on a swivel. She wants to be able to get on the ball, but she's not going to shy away from any sort of physical contact. She loves to be back to goal. She's very good at it, but she's also so dangerous when she's running at you.
Penalty area here. Minas spins around, cleared away by the Rapid. Ball out to DB. Capadona. Lucy Capadona stands firm there.
Really well done.
Now Whitaker. Montreal on the front foot here at the end of this first half. Trying to find a late equalizer. Seto's ball again dealt with by Scott. Mellenhorst and DB Pridham. Mina Lee. Second back heel there from Mina Lee in the half. This time works to perfection. Opens up for Golan. Nicola Golan. Pass into the middle, and that's dealt with comfortably by Capadona.
We've seen both these teams do really well defensively to shut down any sort of dangerous chances that either of them are able to create. That final pass not coming together really for either of them, as that defense is able to step in and interrupt anything happening.
Last chance to run here for the Roses in half number 1. Sauvé. Ball forward. No attacking presence this time for Montreal. Pagenet gives back, and Carly Shaw McLaren says that's the end of the first half. So the big moment coming early in the 13th minute. Here at Mellenhorst has been a great story so far for Ottawa. The only goal so far in the first 45 minutes.
Fairly even first 45, as you said. Mellenhorst able to be the difference maker and get on the end of that. I think both these teams, we've seen creation from them. They both need to be more clinical in that final action. Can they get on the end of those crosses? Can they make that final pass? Can they make the right decision, right? That's what they both need to do right now. Just really clean it up in that final third. But both of them coming out with a lot of hunger.
Coming up, it is halftime. Stay with us. Stade Boreal will have Jess's highlights here in Montreal. It's 1-0 for the road side.
What is this?
Oh, like real glasses, like prescription?
No prescription, that's good.
Are they real?
No.
Okay, woo! We're like, are we bringing Gotcha! We're gonna get you in a business mode because you're gonna elevator pitch why someone should be a fan of your team.
Here we go.
Oh.
60 seconds.
All right, this is gonna be good.
Hey you, are you looking for a new hobby? Well boy do I have the best one for you.
We'll start off nice and easy. McMahon Stadium, Olympic Stadium. Can't get any more rowdy than that.
Family. Who doesn't love a family feel?
I'm just gonna cut to the chase here. I'm not gonna waste your guys' time. I'm not gonna take up 18 minutes of this video to tell you should come support Toronto, because you should already know that you should support Toronto.
And you know where you can get that? The Halifax Tides.
Our players, incredibly talented, incredibly inspiring to watch.
Do you like sports? How about women's sports? If you don't, it means you just haven't even watched them yet.
The people on the team are amazing. Olivia Scott, number 18, is super cool. She's a great center back. Watch out for her.
Why not come out in July? Stampede, biggest rodeo in all of North America. We got cowboys, cowgirls, country singers, rappers, music artists. Best thing yet, Wild also plays during the 2-week Stampede is on, so you can go to Stampede all day, come party with the Wild all night.
If I was you, I would definitely pick an NSL team that is nearest to you, or just pick the Vancouver Rise.
Representing the Maritimes, representing the East Coast.
We wear really cool colors and have a lot of fun stuff going on at the game, a lot of giveaways.
Come out, go tailgate with the Storty family in the parking lot before the game, and make sure you come say hi to me after.
Why wouldn't you want Toronto? We have Drake, Justin Bieber, The Weeknd, ketchup chips.
Watch the Tides make a statement, because the tides are turning.
I love that. You knew what you were doing with that one. Yeah.
I like to keep everyone on their toes.
I don't know, Skip, can we go back to it?
One word for 2026.
Growth.
Excited.
Legendary.
Baller.
2 words for 2026, round 2.
The vibe in our locker room is
Young? No.
killer.
Hype.
The vibe is good, yeah. The vibe is really fun.
Immaculate.
The vibes in our locker room is just fun.
Most underrated teammate.
Ooh, underrated teammate. I just met them.
I think JC's an incredible player in our back line. I think she's gonna be really exciting this year.
Annika Toad. I think she's a great goalkeeper and everybody should get to know her more. Honestly, Shaman people, but is she underrated? I don't know. She's properly rated. Probably the twins. They could be together.
Flo. You just like her personality, you would never know until you get to know her, and then she's like quite literally one of the funniest people you'll ever meet.
So you gotta pick one of your teammates who's taking the last shot.
I choose Quinny with my eyes closed.
Annie for one last shot, she's solid.
Maggie.
Phoebe Pridham.
Tanya Boychuk.
Olivia Scott.
The league better watch out for blank.
The Ottawa Rapid.
Montreal Roses 2026.
Us. For Vancouver, like, obviously.
The league better watch out for the Tides.
Halifax Tides, new team this year.
The Calgary Wild.
The league better watch out for Vancouver because we're ready to rise.
We're gonna end off on
like
I
that
love
one?
that. You knew what you were doing with that one. Yeah. The NSL is blank.
Inspiring.
An amazing group of incredible women.
Is a great place to showcase Canadian young talents. La Ligue est inspirante.
The NSL is a dream come true.
The NSL is powerful.
The NSL is now.
Welcome to halftime in Laval, presented by BMO, the official bank of the Northern Super League. Once again, Jess and Matt with you here. 1-0 to the Ottawa Rapid after 45 minutes. And we'll take a look at the big moment here, Jess. Off of a corner kick, 13th minute, Kira Mellenhorst able to finally put her foot on the ball here.
Yeah, she was going to be the difference maker. We spoke about her, right? This is a player that has so much quality, and she's able to show it here. This is a ball that gets put in. Very good delivery, but Ottawa's not able to get to the first ball. You see Mina attempt to strike the second ball, but Mellenhorst doesn't give up. Not much power behind that. We know Karpenko's going to want that one back. She's going to need to do much better with that in the future, but this is a great goal because of that determination from Mellenhorst. She does everything to get herself on that and ends up striking it right past Karpenko.
3 goals, 3 assists on the season for Mellenhorst. Now, Montreal did grow into the match, particularly in the last 15 minutes or so, but unable to find that big moment so far. But definitely some warning signs here from the Roses.
Without a doubt, warning signs. This is a team that's so creative in the attack. I keep saying that because of how much quality they have. We've seen Jerem really come alive on that left flank. She's been putting balls in the box. We've seen her strike towards goal a few times. But so many quality players up there. You have Tanya Boychuk. You have Elise Bennett, as you're seeing here. She's making the runs. She's getting on the end of things. But they haven't been able to put the ball into the back of the net. This is their best chance yet. I just want to point that out. Dagenet does really well to keep her hands on it, but the chances are coming. The creation is there. So can they be more clinical? Can they be more ruthless and finally be able to find the back of the net?
We will find out. 45 minutes to go. But before we move into the second part of our halftime, let's talk about the chippy nature of the match so far. 2 yellow cards, both to the Roses. It's been a rather physical affair here.
Are you surprised? I'm not surprised. I think this is what you expect when you have the two teams that are at the top of the table. You know, both of them are competitors. They're going to do absolutely everything and leave everything out there. But yeah, absolutely, you're going to have some chippiness. That's going to happen. That's a part of the game. When you do leave everything out there, you see time and time again these little pushes, these little shoves. People are going into this 100% of the time. So I think that this is a part of it, Matt, and this is what makes it fun. You want that competitive nature, and we know that every single person that is on that pitch absolutely has it. So I think we're in for some more physical battles in this second half.
Minas and Badu both have to be careful, both already on a yellow card. And as you mentioned, pretty even possession, shots. Big difference, those shots on target. Montreal has certainly kept Melissa Dagenet busy so far, also having the edge in terms of the set pieces so far and the corner kicks. Coming up, we'll chat with longtime Canadian international Jade Rose about the ongoing FIFA World Cup.
Watching dough rise always fills me with inspiration.
Don't ever look at my savings account. The dough doesn't rise.
BMO has 2 simple ingredients to make your savings rise. Great interest rates and no monthly fees.
Yeah, that would do it all right.
Plus, get a cash bonus for opening a checking and savings account.
So BMO helps your savings grow bigger faster.
Like a triple dose of yeast.
You're hired.
What? No, I wasn't looking for it.
Yes, chef. Yes, chef.
Yes, chef.
BMO. Everyone watches women's sports because why wouldn't you?
Because it brings us together. It's competitive and exciting and new and fresh.
The women who play are so competitive, so tough, fierce, and just leave their emotions all out on the field.
Everybody watches women in sport because we're the best.
Everyone watches women's sports because greatness has no gender.
Because we're a bunch of badass athletes and we love to compete and we're just fun to be around.
Because it's fun and exciting.
Tout le monde regarde le sport féminin parce que les femmes ont eu besoin de briser beaucoup de barrières pour arriver où elles sont aujourd'hui. Donc ça vaut la peine qu'on les regarde et qu'on les encourage.
Everyone watches women's sports because they have good taste. And they should.
Because this is just the beginning.
And at the end of the day, I am proud to kick like a girl, play like a girl, and score like a girl.
First game. First whistle. First goal. First jersey. First autograph. First favorite player. First away game. First big win. First time thinking, that's gonna be me. Firsts help us move forward together. Toyota, founding partner of the first professional women's soccer league in Canada.
1-0 to the Ottawa Rapid at halftime at Stade Boreal. Next up, let's talk some international footy. The ongoing World Cup at the moment, and of course the Women's World Cup less than 12 months away. Here's Kate standing by with Jade Rose.
Pleased to be joined by our next guest. She's an absolute champ. I mean that in every sense of the word. A standout with Man City, a standout with our Canadian women's national team. I'm talking about Jade Rose, who's joining us in studio today. Thanks for coming.
Thank you so much for having me.
Listen, I just spoke about some of your accolades. Your first season as a pro, remarkable. What was the experience like?
The experience has exceeded every single expectation that I had going into it. I mean, moving across the world to a completely new country and a completely new team, having to fight for a starting spot, and then going on to make history with the club, it was a dream come true.
And listen, with the women's national team, you've seen the jump in your level, like what the pro game has brought back to the national team. You guys are coming off a huge win versus Costa Rica. How would you assess where the team is at looking towards November for Olympic and World Cup qualification?
Yeah, I think that the team's in a great position. I think that, a lot of people were worried about the fact that we only had one matchless window, that we were, we weren't playing a top 10 team. And I think for us, a lot of it came down to, getting great training minutes in, having a lot of time with the squad, building those partnerships, building those connections on the pitch, so that when we get around to qualifiers, that all the pieces are falling into place.
Now you're back home in Toronto, in Canada, just in time for the Men's World Cup. Yeah. Typically in season you live in England, where soccer culture is so widespread, it's so immersive. Mm-hmm. What do you think, what do you hope this tournament will do for soccer culture in this country?
I think that it's going to skyrocket in this country. I think when I think about, what the 2012 Olympics did for me, when I think about what the 2015 World Cup did for me, that is what this World Cup is going to do for the next generation and for so many players today. It's going to ignite that love of the game, that love of football culture, and I can't wait to see the fans and to see how our team does.
And listen, we know you were busy in Manchester winning the double, but when you had some downtime, were you watching the NSL? Who are you watching, and what are you most impressed with?
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to catch whatever game I can. I know so many players across the league, and it is a little tricky with the time difference, so I'm just catching whatever game's on, but I love to look out for a lot of the players that I grew up playing with. Nikki Small, the captain at AFC, Sarita at Calgary, and so many other players across the league that, I'm still friends with to this day.
Amazing.
Well, you're watching them. They're undoubtedly watching you, likely so proud of your success, as are we. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Jade.
Absolutely terrific there. It's an exciting time for football fans, particularly across North America, the world right now. But in Canada, there's a significant movement right now towards football. We've seen it in the past with the women winning gold medals on Olympic podiums. Of course, looking for some success at the Women's World Cup as well. But if you think about the movement about football and soccer in this country right now, the marches towards the stadiums, it's an exciting time, and we hope that reflects people signing up and getting their kids in soccer going forward.
I mean, what better way to unite a nation than to put your kids in soccer and to come out and support, right? We have a lot of fans here for the World Cup, so hopefully they're catching some NSL games. That's what we're hoping for, fingers crossed. But yeah, I think that this is an exciting time for football in Canada, and it's only going to continue to grow.
All right, quickly, how does Canada do the rest of the way, Jess?
Ooh, don't do that to me. I think we're going all the way. We're going all the way.
I like the optimism. All right. Speaking of optimism, we've got our second half coming up here with Ottawa leading by a goal.
Hi, I'm Diana Matheson, legend of the field and founder of the Northern Super League. Are you wondering where to watch Northern Super League matches live this season? Confused by TV networks, channels, streams, and schedules? You could visit NSL.ca and download the 2026 schedule to your smartphone, but who's got time for that? Not me. That's why we're introducing the 2026 Northern Super League game schedule hotline. Just dial 1-833-NSL Live and we'll tell you where to watch every match. It's simple, it's easy. It's like the opposite of AI. No, seriously, call it. They made me pre-record all the weekly messages, and we have like 80 matches.
Call the NSL Schedule hotline now. 1-833-NSL Live. That's 1-833-NSL Live. It's free, it's real, and yes, you can leave us a message. Tell us where you're watching from. Tell us your favorite team. Tell us why everyone should watch the Northern Super League. Call now, find out where and when to watch, and tune in.
All right, all set to go here. Half number 2 in the first match of week 10. Maurice Bard-Martel, they're not shying away from making some changes here, Jess. 3 changes for the Roses at halftime with Noémie Paquin, Claire Moniard, and Laurie Thibault all coming in. That do on a yellow card exit, same with Bibeau. And Tanya Boychuk also coming out of the game. So a new look here for Montreal.
Well, sometimes those fresh legs really do help, and we've been speaking about really them needing to elevate themselves in the final third. Maybe these are the 3 players that help them do that, right? They have a fresh look, they have a new perspective when you come into a game. It's very different when you're in the chaos of a match versus watching it. So I think that these are players that bring a new perspective, and now they're able to potentially go in there and change the match.
To see Paquin back on the pitch as well. Hasn't played since May the 30th. He's part of the team in the last match against Calgary. Already has a couple of goals from the early part of the season. Ball sent away here. Bennett running on. Battle with Olivia Scott. Scott does well. Bennett will just continue on and put some pressure on, but dealt with nicely there by Ottawa.
That's really well done, and I spoke about this before, but knowing the strengths of your teammates, that was the right ball. Obviously, Minas looked up. She sees a 1v1 opportunity between Bennett and Scott. You're going to try it. You have a player like Bennett with that quality, but speed is not necessarily Bennett's top-tier ability. I think that she has some pace. She has that ability to be powerful and take off, but that foot race against a player like Scott, who maybe has a little bit more pace, is not necessarily the best ball, right? So I think it's at times just about reading who it is that's up there and what they need. Maybe that's a ball to her feet, and then you have players coming off of her so she can slip through that have that ability and that change of gear in their back pocket.
Sun continues to set here on the Montreal horizon. Ottawa Rapid here have won an early free kick here in the second half. From Ellenhorst, the goal scorer taken down. Another set piece coming up here for the Rapid. You think they'll be happy with their game so far?
Yeah, I mean, I think that they'll be happy with their defensive game. That was something that I asked Coach Peterson about, and she was really adamant on perfecting that sort of transition game that we spoke about, that they struggle with, that attacking balance. But I think in offense, they too want to be a little more clean. They want to be able to find the back of the net, not just on that one.
Friedland, boot behind the ball. It's a good one. Flicked on, goes wide of the target. The center back, Olivia Scott, last to get ahead to it. Friedland has had a big part taking the set pieces today. Must be curiously watching Norway and all the fans that have seemingly invaded North America. Jess, you could try the row, you know, the Norwegian row if Friedland gets a goal here tonight.
You're right, I could try it. Hopefully no one will see it, but we can tell you about it. Just tell them I did really well, okay, Matt?
I will. That's another big part of the World Cup. It's been fun to see. Expanded World Cup as well. Some new nations, some new fans.
Without a doubt.
And they've been passionate. Scotland particularly. Norway's been right there too, and down the list we go. Like you said, hopefully been able to catch a couple of matches here in the Northern Super League, pressing on during the FIFA World Cup. Roses trying to move forward. Some hesitancy there on the initial pass. Capadona brings this back. Sauvé, as per usual, wearing the armband. Now, especially after the departure of Boychuk. Ball sent into space. And just unfortunate for Whitaker, unable to run onto that a half yard too far.
Also seeing the aggressiveness coming out of that back line towards Bennett. They don't want her to be on the ball, and I don't blame them. She has shown us what she can do so early on in the season and what sort of a threat that she is when she's on the ball, whether that's deeper in the half or she's further up, but she is somebody that has all the qualities to hurt you. So you can see that that is a part of Ottawa's game plan. Do not let Elise Bennett have that ball comfortably.
Chu bounces this one over the touchline. Ball back in. Bennett tries to turn around, plays this ball across, and it's bobbled. And a close call there, as that was Paquette looking for her first involvement since coming into the match.
And just off of speaking of Bennett, we see what she can do. That's a great idea. She cuts that ball back. Just not enough power on it for Paquette to be able to get there. And you see that the goalkeeper is able to get involved and break it up.
That ball was there for the taking, and Paquette scored already against Vancouver a couple of times, in fact, this year in the early goings of the season. Represent a new threat up top there with Bennett. Forward and taken back Sauvé to the middle. Thibault. One back by the Rapid. Here's Chu. Wait. Does have some company in the form of Bennett right behind her. So moves quickly. Just misjudged there by Adamek into touch. Talked about Ottawa and perhaps how they've evaluated their performance so far. How about Montreal? How do they see the first 45 minutes, and how do they get back on even terms here, Jess?
Well, they most definitely grew into that first half. The second part of it, we saw them really come alive in that final third, and I spoke about them needing to really elevate, and I think that next level of elevation is being cleaner and finding the back of the net. But as far as chance creation, we saw them really come alive. They ignited their attack, and they just need to be able to keep that up on a consistent basis and then hopefully find the back of the net this time around, Matt.
Ball sent out to Friedland. Having to hustle to keep it in play, and does so quite nicely, in fact. 52nd minute, plays back to Adamek. Adamek gets through one challenge. However, Friedland curled back, so that will roll harmlessly off. And then for a Karpenko goal kick.
Another thing to keep in mind too is, especially when you're playing against, the top opponents in a league, you have to be able to move the ball at pace, and that's something that both of these teams need to be able to do throughout the entirety of the match, because that's the only way you really unbalance.
Ball from Mellenhorst into the penalty area, struck on, and this one misses the target.
Just to continue my thought so I don't sound crazy, but you want to be able to unbalance the opponent, right? And that's the way to do it, to really move the ball with pace. And here's a look at that Ottawa chance that we just saw. Mellenhorst, nice little cut over to the left side, plays it to DB Pridham, but she leans back when she strikes as she gets underneath the ball, doesn't quite strike it, doesn't follow through. The idea's there, and that's exactly what they want to keep doing. They want to keep knocking on that door.
It's a close call, a lot of net there. DB Pridham demanding that ball, two hands, and just missing off the target. So far, Ottawa has, for the most part, kept Elise Bennett in check. Another example there, using some good speed on their back line. Bennett's header back in the first half, the best chance here for the Roses in the match. Monyard, who's coming off her first start of the season, goes into a tackle there, and it's a sore one for Chu. Chippiness continues. Referee not holding up play this time either. Monyard will have to take on Golan. Golan does well to win the throw here. Monyard a goal on the season against Calgary. Back on May the 16th. Calgary's been a team that's frustrated Montreal this year. Already a couple of draws. The Wild still looking for their first victory of the season. Sometimes you just get those matchups.
You do, and last year the Tides were the real thorn in the Roses' side. You know, this is a team that has sort of known the top of the table from the beginning of both seasons, and they thrive and they're so great. But sometimes when you play that opponent that maybe provides a different challenge than being equal with you in all four phases of the match, you struggle a little bit more to elevate yourself.
Backhand's won this ball back, delivers off to Bennett, plays the patient game. Onyard, 3 second half changes. Maurice Bard-Martel. And in the end, the Roses have to go collect back on their own side of half. Laurie Thibault. Seto. Seto's ball, a bouncer. Comes back to Anne-Valerie Seto. Now Whitaker. Time and space down the flank. All looking at Bennett, and again, that's read well. Harris stepping in front of that, and throw comes quickly. Onyard on the edge of the penalty area. Juggles and then strikes. Not particularly close to being on target.
You want to be able to have that mentality to strike on goal when you're near it or when you have that opportunity. The idea is right. You do see that she has a clear look at goal, a bit of a strange angle for her, and she didn't really bring that ball down in a manner that was able to strike and doesn't end up connecting with the ball well.
Friedland looking away from a couple of defenders. Harris sends this long.
Her specialty. Her ability to see that switch ball and play those balls over top to players like Pridham. We've seen it a few times where it does really pan out and end up in a goal, but her ability to contribute to the attack from a defensive position has been really fun to watch.
Can put a lot of power behind it. Already scored once this year against Halifax. 2-1 away win that day. Facing the Tides.
It's well done from Olivia Scott as well, stepping in there.
Montreal does well to win this back. Chloe Minas. Paquin. Makes one line, looking for some support.
See just how many numbers the Rapid have in there. They're making sure that they're not outnumbered and not giving Montreal any time or space. They're forcing them to go backwards.
Ball pushed forward here by Claire Monyard. Native of London, Ontario. For some support, Sauvé runs into Mina Lee. Mellenhorst will do the rest. Nice little pass outside of the boot. Opportunity to run here potentially for the Rapid. Karpenko comes up. DB Pridham not far off. Minas. Once again, it's Paquin. Time and space, and this one just hit too hard.
But it's also, again, Matt, it comes down to recognizing what the opponent is giving you. She has time to be able to bring that down and take a few more touches. She's able to take those touches, potentially engage that back line, and then slip the ball through.
Cross towards Bennett. Shea Rim and Elise Bennett. Coming in, here's Cherim.
It's a nice little move from Cherim, uses her pace. Good delivery in. You see Bennett time her run to be able to get ahead on that. It's hard to tell. Bennett is contesting that went off of Harris, but from that angle, it's a little difficult to tell.
Mary-Lou Harvey coming into the match now. Another substitution for the Roses as Whitaker comes out. Harvey in for her third appearance of the season. The Roses young players and having some trouble here with this one. Could be a corner kick on the missed back pass.
That's what happens when you apply that high pressure. It's very frustrating when you're trying to build out at the back and you're looking forward for options, but you have this high pressure coming towards you. It forces you to mess up, and that's exactly what happened there. Now Montreal has an opportunity to potentially equalize.
Rapid, of course, having difficulties. Now we'll have to defend a set piece. Minas from the corner flag lifts us high up, caught there by Melissa Dagenet. DB Pridham looks at Sadie Waite. This could be something here for the Ottawa Rapid. Have 3, now 4 players coming forward. Mina Lee in the penalty area takes a ricochet and into the arms of Karpenko.
It's a good idea. You also see Sadie Waite look up and recognize that Mina is all alone on that left side, plays that ball to her, the touch just getting away from her. A little uncharacteristic of Mina.
Been a real impact that's coming into the match, but that final ball looking at Bennett, once again, just not quite there for the substitute. And now running onto this ball here is Golan. Game starting to open up here as we cross into the final half hour tonight here in Laval. This one sent off for a Ottawa throw.
Nice little turf burn there on set.
Say, that does not look comfortable at all. These players put it on the line every week. Bumps and bruises, scrapes.
And sometimes they leave scars. Can confirm.
Ouch indeed. Not properly cleared here, and that could be costly as that one on the edge of the penalty area put over top of the bar, and DB Pridham again. Anytime there's an opportunity, you can bet that the league's top scorer is going to be nearby.
And you can see it. She's ready to pounce. She watches that all the way from the 6 when she takes that first touch to the top of the 18 to make sure that she can somehow contribute to that play.
A couple of changes here for the Ottawa Rapid here. Melanie Forbes coming into the match. And Florence Belzile, originally from Chicoutimi, 4 or 5 hours away. Johanna Friedland and Nicola Golan both come out of the match. Both had some moments, Jess.
Yeah, they most definitely did, and it just came down to being slightly more clean in that final third.
Mina trying to strike. This one takes a deflection off into the corner, pushed back in towards the penalty area, and there is some contact there. Play continues on. And a one-hopper back into the arms of Karpenko. Anything there for you?
Well, I was just going to say, to continue my thought really quick, Matt, it's one of those things that this Ottawa side has really done well over the last 2 years. Well, year and a half, let's say, or less than half. But this is a team that has always had a lot of firepower on their flanks when they do make subs, whether it was Golan, whether it was Belzile, whether it was Forbes, whether it was Friedland. They have so many options and they have depth out there that creates so many chances for them, and they're dangerous no matter who is on the pitch. Their ability to go 1v1 and create opportunities.
Opportunity there for Harvey, 17-year-old. Just turned 17, in fact, back on the 17th of June. So a young, bright talent out of Quebec. Youngest player in club history, perhaps not a surprise on that. I'm trying to find a goal contribution for the first time as a pro.
Some good pressure there from Mina.
Roses win back the ball in the attacking side of half. Shea Rim plays forward to Paquin. Paquin delivers another cross. Once again, Bennett, this time laid off. And the half volley just struck wide of the goal by Claire Moniard, who's now had a couple of attempts at goal.
Well, we know that Claire Moniard can smack a ball. We've seen her do it last season as well as this year. And we spoke about Elise Bennett and her ability to bring that ball down. She ends up laying it off. I'm not sure if Moniard was caught off guard. She didn't think it was going to land to her, but her hips were too open, wide, and she ended up missing the frame.
Montreal once again starting to look a little bit more menacing here as we move further into the half. Another turnover from Ottawa and another ball into touch. Monyard again. Seto. 2v2 on the flank. Back to Claire Monyard.
Seto showing off some of her offensive skill. We know that she's a player that has a lot of versatility in her. Last year we saw her deployed for the Tides in the middle of the field, with the Roses playing more so in that center back role. But a really talented player, good feet, good vision.
Forward once again, Paquin unable to reel that ball in, sent away by the Rapid. France Belzile had eyes for goal, instead coming back the other way. Bennett. Now Laurie Thibault. Sauvé. Facing some pressure from the Rapid. Montreal moves back to the back line. Capadona and Seto.
Montreal needing some movement here, but also continuously moving the ball. It doesn't help to stop the ball like that in the back line and just look up for an option. It's never going to open up. You have to be able to shift that front line, try to engage those defenders. That way you can bypass them.
That's a heavy tackle there. Forbes and Seto got the worst of that. Play continues on. Back, Harvey. Here's to Laurie Thibault. Moves forward to Chirim, just outside the penalty area. But again, the last touch so far has not been kind to the Roses. They just have not had that quality in the penalty area here tonight.
The precision that needs to be better. I keep repeating myself and I sound like a broken record, I'm sure, to everyone listening, but they absolutely need to find a way to be more clinical and more sharp when it comes to those opportunities.
Now here's the latest chance. Once again headed away by Ottawa. For the watching eyes of the fourth official, it's Florence Belzile. Moving forward, nice little runoff play with DB Pridham. Belzile goes 1-on-2, and that one taken away neatly there by the Montreal defense duo.
It's a good idea. You see the Roses start to slowly close in. Not many options for Belzile. She tries to take that big touch to really bypass that defender, but isn't quite able to get it off.
Bennett coming deep again. Plays to Thibault. It's tangled up there with an Ottawa player. Lifted to Paquin. Chirim. Pushed off into the Ottawa technical area. Clearly, Kayla Adamek didn't get the memo that this is a send-off game here.
Wow, look at that sky, Matt.
It's a beauty.
I'm a big nature person, so that makes me, that excites me. I love a good, pretty sky.
Going for a good sunset here. Well, there was some rain and some storms in the area earlier on today, and normally that's really sets up the best ones.
You're not wrong.
I don't have as much nature sunset experience as you.
I mean, I don't think I have extensive experience.
I need to get out there a little more.
Oh, okay. I should work on that.
I should. One day, Jess.
Got to get out of the booth and.
Well, that's. I like to be in the booth, so that's the problem. All right, here's the chance to run in. Top of the penalty area, all alone, and Ottawa has its second. Coming off the bench, Melanie Forbes. Ottawa finds its chance and takes it.
Melanie Forbes, she is somebody that has done her duty every time she steps on the pitch, her ability to read the game and where she needs to be, and it starts with DB Pridham getting in there. You have Mina driving forward with her great vision. She looks up, recognizes what sort of ball is needed, and then what a well-timed run from Melanie Forbes. Quick touch and into the back of the net, past Karpenko. Not the greatest defending from Montreal. They do need to be tighter there. There's no reason that Forbes should be creeping into that back post wide open. But nonetheless, from Ottawa's perspective, great goal.
Forbes, who has usually been amongst the starters this year, coming off the bench today. Celebrated a birthday 4 days ago on the 21st. He's now got a goal.
This is a little delayed birthday gift.
A little late birthday gift. Why not? Second of the season after scoring in a home win in early May against the Calgary Wild. 20 minutes to go. Ottawa in the driver's seat, and relatively firmly so, I would say.
Well, and this is exactly what I spoke about earlier, Matt. When you have chance after chance after chance and you don't finish it, sometimes it comes back to bite you. Often it comes back to bite you, and you have this Ottawa side who was creating a lot, but not necessarily that final pass wasn't really coming together for them. And now they're finding their footing, right? And once they become confident, they're a very dangerous side to play against. So can the Roses continue to try to shift that momentum in their favor despite the scoreline and potentially get one, maybe two, maybe they equalize the game, maybe they walk away with 3 goals, who knows? But I think that this is a team that really needs to pick it up when they get into that final third, clean it up, find the precision, and be clinical when it matters.
Montreal in danger, failing to pick up the full 3 points for the 4th match in a row. Meanwhile, Ottawa has celebrated victories in 5 of its last 7 games. Bursting its way to the top, opportunity to come in, shot, save, rebound off of Karpenko, rolls off for a corner kick. Another close opportunity, and if not for Karpenko, we're talking about a 3-0 scoreline.
Again, it starts with Harris in the back, recognizes that switch of play. Belzile cuts inside and gets the shot off. It's well done from Karpenko to keep that out of the back of the net, but that second ball, really close.
Substitute to substitute. It's Forbes now on the set piece. Initial moment of hesitation finally sent away. Chu, last player back. Heads forward, and now Harris and Scott back into position. Bennett on the back pedal here. Thinking that she had some more support. That one from Harvey, and Harvey goes over and the tackle.
It's a good effort from Harvey, a bit of a tough one. She gets there a little late. Not much power in that pass from Elise Bennett. I don't believe she was aware of how close Adamek was to her when she made that decision. But just puts Harvey in a bit of a dangerous situation.
DB Prittiman, Capitona. Karpenko's ball. Looking out wide, Monyard. Cheram. Now Minas. Montreal looking for something in front of its home fans, and here's Bennett. And Bennett with the strike off the bar. The woodwork to the rescue for Dagenet. Bennett's been around it tonight and just misses. Perhaps not done. Monyard in the penalty area, surrounded by Ottawa defenders. Plays out wide, cross in from Harvey. A couple of Ottawa defenders away, head that away.
It's a frustrating one that was so well struck.
Same spot, same player. This time it's taken away by Harris, in for a deep throw. And here it is.
See, there hasn't been very many opportunities where Elise Bennett's been left wide open, but when she is going to hurt you, and thankfully the woodwork came up here for Ottawa, because my goodness was that well struck.
That had goal written all over it. Now a buzz in the stands here at Stade Boreal. Allez Rose. But the small problem is that they trail 2-0. But they're on the front foot again. Bennett's ball push into the penalty area, countered back. Mellenhorst losing possession with Paquin. Now it's Thibault. Thibault driving forward. Montreal bringing numbers up. Scott looked around, but she did the job, got in front of that strike. Once again, top of the penalty area. Struck on, and this one into the top netting for a goal kick.
Ottawa mentioned that they knew the type of firepower that this Montreal side had up top, whether that was in the depth coming off the bench or that was from the players that were in that starting 11. And we've seen them really step up to the plate today and not allow much from the Roses as far as dangerous chances really coming off. That final pass not coming together. Ottawa doing well to disrupt it. Numbers around the ball every time the Montreal's in and around the 18. So they're making it very difficult for the Roses to really create anything concrete.
This might be concrete. Minas, top of the penalty area. Harvey is there and strikes. Flex away. Sauvé. Left-footed pass. Looking at Paquin. It's defended well again, and this might be an opportunity here for DB Pridham. Losing her balance, regaining stride. 1-on-2 for DB. And finally dealt with there. Seto. DB never could really quite find the momentum there.
It's nicely recovered from Seto. You see her get on her horse and just go at it. You do see Pridham lose her footing just slightly, but she times this really well. She gets into it a bit with Capadona, gets on the better side of her, and you see there just losing her footing as her momentum is driving her forward. But once Seto shuts down that angle, it's very difficult to come back across, especially when you slow your momentum. But you know that DB Pridham is going to be looking for another one of those.
That certainly would have been the clincher for tonight. Had DB been all alone. So far, her teammates, Melon Horst in the 13th minute and Melanie Forbes off the bench in the 70th. Have done the damage. This Ottawa team. We now have 5 multi-goal scorers on the year. 10 total goal scorers, so go down the list. They've been finding ways to contribute.
Well, it makes it that much better when it's not coming from one person and you know that people can contribute to the attack, and it makes it a lot more difficult for teams to shut you down.
'77th minute. Karpenko's been encouraging her team to try and pick up the intensity, pick up the pace. Now we'll have to look at a corner kick. Nina and Forbes around this one. Forbes near post. Corner to be redone here after it's pushed away by the Roses. Do you like the short corner here?
I don't love short corners, but I think that sometimes they do serve their purpose.
We'll try it right again, and it's bobbled by Karpenko. And will it be three times a charm here? That might be.
Well, the delivery the second time was much better than the first time, so maybe third time is the charm.
Might be a moment that Karpenko might regret here if this turns costly.
Just got to be able to keep that and hold it. No more short corner, apparently, Matt.
Well, up and in. Ball still loose. Half clearance. This time it does come away. And this might be a moment here for Montreal. Players sprinting forward. Not able to organize themselves into any form of dangerous attack.
You also saw that anticipation from Chu and how low she was as that ball was coming towards her. Did not want Elise Bennett to be able to get on that. They looked to try to stop that transition, and again, that was that attacking balance moment that we spoke about, obviously a set piece, but still just something to be mindful of.
A couple of substitutions set to come in for the Rapid. Jasmine Wilkinson and Caton Crichton both coming in here for relief duty. Chu and DB putting in a good day's work through 78 minutes. Seventh appearance of the season for Wilkinson, third for Crichton. Dagenet and Bennett getting to know each other a little bit better. A little over 10 minutes to go before stoppage time. take a 4-point lead at the top of the table if this result stands. Rim in the penalty area there for Paquin. Doesn't strike, plays back, takes a deflection, and a corner kick on the way. Montreal once again finding itself in a dangerous area here, but
Chirim really coming alive, and you see that turn. It just hurts Paquin a little bit. She goes backwards. I mean, she does lay it off, which is great. It's another opportunity, but can she take a different sort of touch, open up if she wants to strike with her left, if she wants to strike with her right, but she just sort of kills herself when she comes backwards and ends up killing that angle.
Big set piece here. Minas, big deep breath, hand raised, and the corner kick to the top of the penalty area. Taken, pushed towards goal, but off target. Some more solid defending from the Rapid. Montreal trying to stride forward again. Only loss this year for the Roses, a 3-2 home defeat to Vancouver back on May the 30th.
It's well done from Capadona.
All sent forward, it's Bennett again. Scott watches on. Bennett tries the short side, but once again failing to find the target.
Bennett just trying to strike that early, and then this is a great ball in from Sauvé. She recognizes the positioning of where the defenders are. Bennett not recognizing maybe where she is in regards to the net, and you see her strike that. She is somebody that's capable. We've seen her strike across her body many times, so I think she just was a little disoriented in where exactly she was positioned in regards to the net.
On yard, ball is in, it's a good one, and it's over top of the bar for Chirim. In her final match for the Roses, Kang Chirim, oh so close to finding a great moment.
She just needs to keep this down. You have that entire corner open. Just needs to pass that into the corner. If she wants to strike it, great, put some power behind it. But she would have had Dagenet beat easily.
Might be some nightmare fuel there. Wide open. Just could not put it on target. That's quickly becoming the story of the night here for Montreal. Is chances, yes, but finish, no.
This was a bit of the story in their last match against the Wild as well. They really struggled with their chance creation. Well, not with their chance creation, but to be able to finish their chance creation. They're a team that has so much creativity in the attack. They have such great off-the-ball movement. They find those gaps and they expose teams. But when you're in a position like that, if you're at the top of the six, you have to be able to bury it. If you don't bury it, it comes back to haunt you. And we saw that. We're seeing that right now, currently down 2 goals. But Montreal has had a ton of chances.
Still time, albeit time is ticking away for Montreal on this night. Foul against Montreal here, so it sets up a set piece. Waite and Melanie Forbes, both in the vicinity here. Will be the second half goal scorer Forbes, top of the penalty area, flicked on and now away. Bennett coming back. Monyard trying to move quickly. Ottawa preventing that. Rapid back in business again. And in no hurry, of course, leading by 2 goals.
This is the time to be calm, cool, and collected throughout the back. Keep it confidently, right? Play, move the ball, shift Montreal, just continue to tire them out and frustrate them.
I count 14 Montreal attempts, 4 on target. Ottawa's had some chances too, but It's just been more clinical. 9 total attempts, and 3 on target, 2 in the back of the goal.
Right, and that's that purpose we spoke about earlier, Matt, right? It's not about how much possession you have, it's what you do with it. So if you have less possession, but you're able to be purposeful on 1-2 chances that you have on goal, you walk away with a win.
Belzile coming off the right side. Ellen Horst plays this one back. Right. Back to the center backs now. Scott and Jaleesa Harris. Pushed forward by Forbes. Adamick. Bounces, and finally Montreal back in possession. It's a good tackle
from Mellenhorst.
Possession short-lived there for the Roses.
And that pace of pass that I mentioned earlier, and it was something that Coach Peterson mentioned to us that she wanted to see better from her team. She thinks that was a big part of the reason that they struggled so much against Toronto in portions of that game, because of the pace of the pass. It was too slow, and today we're seeing them really elevate that, especially later on in this half as they have this lead, more confident on the ball, looking for those options, playing it amongst that back line. And not really forcing, right? They're looking for the open option, and that's because they're not necessarily in a rush.
They have been afforded that luxury, putting together a fine performance away from home. Rapid this year, 2 wins and 1 away loss. Happened to be the first match of the season in Halifax on a late April night. Looking to now win 3 straight away. As you know, if a team's able to have success at home but also put together wins away, that usually results in a pretty strong campaign. And Ottawa's shaping up to be one of the early favorites. Into the seats it goes. Now this is Sauvé. The middle, Minas lays this off. Bennett out into space towards the penalty area. Top of the penalty area, partially deflected away. Bennett tries to come in. Finally sent away again by the Ottawa Rapid, and Mina delivers it all the way towards the penalty area. Minutes, Cherem. Lays this one off. Smart play to come into the middle. Penalty awarded. There might just be something late today as Sauvé had good body position, taken down in the penalty area here, and a penalty kick is awarded, Jess.
Things happen when you drive at defenders. You leave them no choice sometimes, and you can see there Crichton just pulling back Sauvé. It's really well done from Sauvé. Just a bit of an arm pull right there. Sauvé did really well to fall and sell it in the box. That's exactly what you need to do in those moments, but really well done from her. That recognition to not only go down when she felt that bit of pressure, but also to drive in the first place.
Dagenais has saved 1 penalty. It was last year, 1 for 2, and this is Montreal's first attempt from the spot on the season. And it will be Bennett looking for goal number 6 on the year. It's late. Bennett puts it away. Montreal back within 1. Do not go anywhere just yet.
Really confident approach from Bennett, just inside of the foot, right past Dagenais, into that bottom right corner. You see it, no hesitation. Dagenais guesses right, but there's just enough behind it to get it past her. It's a well-taken corner, well executed. And as we know, Elise Bennett has had quite a tough day as far as having much openings. They have been on her back. They have not allowed her to get much off. That was a get back for that that crossbar earlier, Matt.
It did hit the woodwork. Not much of a celebration for goal number 6 on the season, and for good reason. Business still to be done here at Stade Boreal. And the big question is how much time is left. The Roses have life, and can they rescue a point here at home? It looked bleak for a long stretch. Thibault, ball forward into the penalty area. Taken back, corner kick coming up. Marie-Lou Harvey doing a fine job there, and to one side a set piece now in stoppage time. Just the 3 minutes though.
But this is a great opportunity to find that equalizer, as set piece is known to really shake up games, right? That's what Ottawa was able to do on their first goal. Can Montreal return the favor here and beat beat Ottawa to the ball and find the back of the net?
Paquin this time to deliver the set piece from the corner in stoppage time. Top of the penalty area. Headed away. Not completely though. Back in, and it's a one-hopper collected by Dagenet.
Wilkinson coming up big there, reading that, clearing it, and not much in that second attempt from the Roses.
Given away though. Paquin will try and lift this one from distance. And an opportunity might have just slipped away there.
It's quite wasteful from Paquin's standpoint, right? She has to be able to recognize what's in front of her. Is that option on? Not really. It's quite far. You got to be able to know your own strengths as well. And are you really going to chip Dagenet from there? Probably not. So just recognizing what's in front of you and playing what the other team is giving you.
Urgency now from the Roses, but sent high and away. Wilkinson battling with Capadona. And now Karpenko comes out. Halfway through the minimum of 3 minutes added on. And this crowd now full on for the Roses. Bennett's in the penalty area. Scott beats him to the ball. Deep throw on the way for Montreal. Goes to the top of the penalty area. Thibault unable to run onto the ball. Again, into touch. Collected quickly into the penalty area again. Bennett looking for support. Struck on again. Dealt with neatly by the Rapid. Late stages now. Desperate times for the Roses. But a pass failing to link up. Sauvé, who drew the penalty. Maurice Bard-Martel saying everybody forward, but the Rapid are firmly in their defensive shape here, Jess.
They are, and they're a well-organized shape. They're difficult to break down. But this is the time to put all your numbers forward, try to create something out of it, move that ball with pace, attempt to shift the Rapid. We know that they're going to sit right now. They're going to wind down that time, and I think they're about to do that, right, Matt? This time is really winding down. We're in those final seconds, I believe.
And that is it. Full time from Stade Boreal, and the Ottawa Rapid have come in to La Belle Province and picked up a key 3 points. Now 4 points clear at the top of the table with a 2-1 away win today over Montreal.
I think it was a well-deserved win. This match was pretty evenly contested throughout it. We saw spurts of Montreal having a lot more attempts on goal or in the final third, and we saw moments where Ottawa really controlled the game and dictated the tempo. But I think that in the end, the team that is more clinical is going to win games, and that's exactly what the Rapid did today. The Roses really struggled in that final third despite creating so many dangerous opportunities. They just really need to clean it up, Matt.
Game of what if for Montreal. Some defensive miscues and some offensive chances that have slipped away. And of course, some big hugs and congratulations for Chirim. Played the 90 minutes today in her final appearance before departing the club.
She really helped ignite that attack. She was a big part of those chances that we spoke about. She had a few that she should have buried herself. She had some great attempts at getting an assist, some good deliveries into the box, so she definitely will be missed for this Montreal side.
These two teams will meet 3 more times before the end of the regular season as the rain starts to fall in the greater Montreal area. Started with Mellenhorst as we look back on this game. Strong start here from the visitors from Ottawa. Back to daylight here, Jess. Here's how it happened for Kira Mellenhorst.
Look, a goal's a goal. It doesn't always need to be pretty, but this is a well-earned goal because Mellenhorst does not give up. She doesn't put enough power behind that, you would think, to beat Karpenko, so Karpenko's going to want that one back. She needs to do better with it, but my goodness, did she not give up, and she got on the end of that and put it into the back of the net.
Second half, Melanie Forbes coming into the match, but this is all about the setup here from Mina Lee, finding her wide open in the top of the penalty area.
Well, we know Mina Lee does really well to float and find space, and that's exactly what she did. She also used her IQ to look up and recognize the open man and find Melanie Forbes, who did so well to bury that.
That was in the 70th minute. This is in the 89th minute. Crichton going through the back of Sauvé, and Bennett converting from the spot in the 90th minute, but just too little, too late, Jess, from Montreal.
Yeah, I mean, things happen when you drive forward, when you drive at defenders inside the box. Sometimes they have no choice but to foul you. Elise Bennett stepping up confidently, buries that, and that's what we were looking for from her throughout the entirety of the game. She wasn't able to get on the ball too much. Ottawa did a good job at shutting her down, but as you said, Matt, a little too late from Montreal to be able to look to walk away with a win.
So a bit of breathing room now for Ottawa at the top of the table, picking up win number 6 on the year. And another game, though, they're Ottawa soaking a lot of shots. 21 against Toronto on Sunday, 19 here against the Roses, but they come away with the 3 points.
Yeah, I thought overall, despite looking at this, I thought Ottawa did quite well defensively as far as, really looking to swarm Montreal and not allow them out. They had some good high-pressure moments. They did seem quite organized for the most part. Yes, of course, there were moments where Montreal did really well. We know that they have a lot of talented players and brilliant minds that are in that attacking half, and they exposed Ottawa at times. So I'm sure there's things that Ottawa's going to want to clean up defensively, but overall they have a lot to be proud of.
There's Katrina Peterson leading the post-game huddle here for the Rapid. It's a big 3 points for Ottawa, who have now won 6 of its last 8 in terms of picking up points and rising to the top of the table. Let's take a look at what the rest of Week 10 looks like in the Northern Super League. Saturday, June the 27th, happens to be tomorrow. McMahon Stadium, the site of this one. The Tides looking to try and keep pace with the 2 leaders, taking on Calgary, who would love a first win. And then this one on the West Coast, Swangard Stadium, AFC Toronto, right now below the playoff line, and a date with the Vancouver Rise. That one you can catch at 6:30 Eastern, 3:30 Pacific on Sunday afternoon. So game 1 of 3, Jess, in the books. Take a look at the live table here so far, as we knew this is the battle of the 2 top teams. And 3 points, it's a big one for the Rapid now, who have 6 wins. Nobody has 5, and look at that goal differential as well, the first to reach double digits.
Yeah, I mean, the Rapid have really come out this year and they've put their best foot forward. They're a team that has so much quality on both sides of the ball. I know Montreal is going to be really frustrated watching this one back because of the amount of chances they had, but we are really early in the season, Matt. I think that, we never know who's going to end up at the top of the table when we're at game 25.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves, Jess. Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. Rain starting to fall, and Chirim saying goodbye to the Montreal Roses and au revoir from the South Korean international. Goals early from Ottawa. Second half marker as well, doing the damage for the Rapid, who pick up all 3 points away for their first victory against Montreal this season. For Jess Lisi, my name is Matt Cullen from all our hardworking crew. Thanks for joining us, and see you next time for an NSL game presented by BMO.